Alright class, so we're first going to start off with just some review stuff. Before that though, I have a joke for you. Why did the chicken cross the road? And hopefully you guys all answered to get to the other side. Yeah, I know that's a really dumb one, but maybe if you guys come up with jokes for me, I will put them in my video to start it off. So I will entertain any extra jokes you guys have as long as they're school appropriate. I'll put them in my videos. Start it off. Alright, anyway. We're going to be adding and subtracting fractions today. First thing we're going to do, you need a common denominator to do this. Hopefully you guys remember that. Alright. So here we have a common denominator, so you can just add 4 plus 5 together and put it all over 3x. So the answer is 9 over 3x, which actually you can simplify to 3 over x. Here's where we run into a problem. We do not have a common denominator, so we need to get one. So the least common denominator is this one has an x minus 4, this one has an x plus 3. So they both need to have an x minus 4 and an x plus 3. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to multiply this one by an x plus 3 and this one by an x minus 4 on top and bottom. So now my denominator is x plus 3 and x minus 4. The top, if I multiply x to these things, I get x squared plus 3x minus 6x. And be careful because there's a minus sign. You're subtracting both things. This is a minus 24, so that's actually a plus 24. Alright, and then you just simplify. We get x squared minus 3x plus 24. All over x plus 3, x minus 4. And that's our final answer. So that's how you add and subtract. Example 3, we need to get a common denominator again. First of all, I'm going to just write this out so I can see what I have. So this one's x plus 3, this one's x plus 3, x minus 3. The easiest way to get the same denominator is to have two x plus 3's and one x minus 3. So that means this one needs an x minus 3 here. And this one needs an x plus 3. Okay, so we're going to have to FOIL this up here because there's two pieces with pluses in them. So when you FOIL these, you get x squared minus 3x plus 1x, which is minus 2x minus 3. And then you have a subtraction, so you have to distribute that to both pieces. So you have minus x minus 3. That's your whole numerator. And then you have x minus 3, x plus 3, and x plus 3. So the last thing to do is just simplify the top. You get x squared minus 3x minus 6 all over this common denominator. One more just on the front here. We need another common denominator. If you notice, if you factor this piece here, you can take out a 3x squared, and you're left with a 2x plus 1. So that means that we need for our common denominator, this one has a 3x cubed, and then we need a 2x plus 1. So all we're missing from the second fraction is an x. So I'll do that real quick here. And all we're missing from the first piece is a 2x plus 1. So we distribute like we did for the last one. 8x plus 4 plus x squared equals our common denominator, or over our common denominator. And that's pretty much it. You can't simplify anything on top. So just make sure you write that down. Again, when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you need a common denominator, then you have to add the tops. There should be no canceling. I don't like seeing that. Then you guys get everything wrong when you do that. Don't cancel anything. Alright, solving systems real quick. Is this a solution? All you have to do is plug it in to see. So I'm going to plug negative 3, 5 into the first one. You have to check both, although if one of them doesn't work, then you know for sure it is not a solution. You get negative 9 minus 35 equal negative 34. That is definitely not true, so it's not a solution. Okay. Alright, solving using substitution. When you have substitution, you want to solve for one variable. I always solve for the one that is just a single x or y. So I'm going to say that x equals 12 minus 2y. And sub that right back into this second one here. So I get 9 times 12 minus 2y minus 5y equals negative 30. Distribute, solve, you guys know your algebra at this point, hopefully. So you get negative 23y equals negative 138 when you move everything around, or y equals 6. So that's y. We're not done yet though, you have to get x as well. So x equals 12 minus 2 times y, which is 6. So we get x equals 0. So the final solution is 0, 6. So again, when you're doing substitution, solve for a variable, sub it into the other equation, get the one letter, and then sub that back into the original. With elimination, you're looking for canceling. So I see that one of the x's are 2x and the other one's 4x. So if I make the top one a negative 4x by multiplying by negative 2, so I'm multiplying the top by negative 2. And then I'm going to add down. These cancel. We get a 3y equals negative 18. So y equals negative 6. And then when you get that, you can plug it into either equation. I'm going to plug it into the top equation. So you get 2x is equal to 24 plus 33, 11. Negative 4 times negative 24. So I'm sorry, negative 11. And then you get x equals negative 11 halves. So our final answer is negative 11 halves, comma, negative 6. Okay. So for these last two, you can choose which method to use. This first one looks like elimination just by setup. If you multiply this one by 2, you get negative 6x plus 4y equals 14. And if you add down, this cancels, you get a 0. This cancels, you get a 0. And then 14 plus 14 is 28. So you get a statement that says 0 equals 28. When you get a statement that's false, you know there's no solution to the system. If you get 0 equals 0, then there's infinitely many solutions. Okay. Alright, last problem. We're going to divide everything by 5. Make this simpler. And then I'm going to do substitution. I'm going to say y equals 3 plus x and plug that into my y up here. So I get 3 times x plus 3 equals negative 2x minus 1. Then you just distribute, simplify. We get 5x equals negative 10, which means x equals negative 2. When x equals negative 2, plug that back into the y. You get y equals 3 minus 2, or 1. So our final solution is negative 2 comma 1. Okay? Again, a lot of this should be review just to remind you guys how to solve systems and put fractions together. You did this in Algebra 2 Trig last year, but we will be doing bigger systems, but we will be using the calculator for the next lesson. So make sure you have them, and I will see you guys later.